How I generate passive income on gold and silver stocks. This video is brought to you by Interactive Brokers, ranked best online broker by Barron's for the 5th consecutive year. But more about them later in the video. So before we get into this video on how I generate passive income on my gold and silver stocks, I've received some messages from you guys about why I'm not doing as many videos as I used to. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Late last year, I attended a succession planning event. And since then, we've been implementing things into our business as we look to exit the business over the coming years, and that has required a lot more of my time. So that's reason one. The second reason is I'm now doing more private videos just for our Finance Uncut Insiders members. And so it just means that I've got less time to do videos on a regular basis. Well, as many as I used to anyway. I will still put out videos once a week. I'm aiming for, but sometimes it'll be once a fortnight. Just depends on the time. But for our Finance Uncut Insiders, I want to do more private videos where I'm providing even more information than I do on the YouTube channel just for you guys. So with that, let's get into the video. So about 5 months ago, I did this video, how I earned 30% per annum renting out my stocks. And this is the passive income that I'm talking about. And I did this one about 11, 12 months ago, Become Your Own Central Bank, how Warren Buffett sells options on his stocks for cash flow. He makes billions of dollars a year earning cash flow. So I just want to cut to a short 5-minute clip from this video and how I use it as a strategy. In fact, this strategy of selling options on my portfolio, and it's not my whole portfolio, it's on a percentage of my portfolio, predominantly gold and silver stocks, is probably the largest component of my portfolio. So let's just cut to a clip. So here's an example of a trading plan of $100,000. Now, this is an old trading plan, so you can see this is an old presentation that I've done. Probably should update it, but anyway. So we've got, what do we got there? We've got DJs, Fortescue Metals, Fairfax, Newcrest Mining, and Qantas. And you can see the number of shares that I own, the option contract. So there's 100 shares to one option contract. There's the share price. That's what it costs me. Then the equity or the brokerage, the strike price, the premium that I received. So you can see the difference between the share price and the strike price. So some are at the money, some are out of the money, and none are in the money. The brokerage, and then you can see the net profit not exercised, and you can see the return there. So 2.67%, 3.15, 4.62, 4.9, 3.3, and then you can see exercised. So if I was exercised plus a brokerage. So if you look right down the bottom, so a total portfolio of $100,000 or just over, I made $3,702.50, which is a 3.7% return. If I was exercised, that would be a $4,417 profit or a 4.41% return. So you can see how easy it is if you have a portfolio of blue chip stocks where you can sell options or sell calls to generate cash flow. Now, this is the example of the $100,000 trading before on the last slide. So $100,000 or just over $100,000, say 30 days, not exercised, got a 3.7% for the month or $3,700. If I was exercised, well, you make a little bit more money. So you can see that there. Now, let me throw this out there. Let's say that
you had a particular home loan product, a master limit product, where you can actually pay your home loan off in under 10 years, while at the same time building wealth for the future. And I'll do a video after this explaining this master limit product. There's only a couple of banks in Australia that offer this particular product. But let's say you had this product and you were able to borrow an extra $100,000. So you had your initial $100,000 or $193, and you're able to borrow another $100,000 using this master limit product. It's a home loan product. Now, the interest rate on the investment portion of that master limit product is 3.49%. Now, that product is not a margin product. So if the stock does fall, you do not get a margin call on this. And that's the other benefit of a master limit product on your home loan. So the interest rate is 3.49%. So the interest is $290.83 per month. Now we got those returns, 3.7 and 4.4. However, now because of that extra leverage, by not being exercised, you've generated just over $7,400 for the month. If you were exercised, you've generated over $8,800 for the month. Now, when you take out your interest that you just paid for the month, your net profit is just over $7,100 for the month, or just over $8,500 for the month. So you can see how powerful it is using a little bit of leverage, but using a smart product called the master limit product on your home loan, which actually what you do then is you take that income down the bottom there, that's $7,000 or $8,000, whichever happened for the month, and you pump that through your home loan to pay down your home loan, and then you basically debt recycle it through the investment side of it and buy more assets or buy more stock, write even more covered calls, make even more premium. So you can see it's very, very powerful. So on a $200,000 portfolio, you can actually see the type of monthly income that you can generate.
Interactive Brokers offers the lowest margin loan interest rates of any broker, according to stockbrokers.com 2021 online broker review, with interest rates on investment loans from 4.25% to 5.5%. I can assure you that's about half of what I get charged from another stockbroker. I use leverage to make arbitrage when selling options for passive income. But remember, leverage does increase risk and should only be used in consultation with your financial advisor. Now, back to the video. So I hope you guys understood that and could see the power of selling options to generate passive income, and how using leverage in a conservative way, because when you take on leverage, you're taking on risk, can really amplify your passive income. And I use leverage from time to time using this strategy. Sometimes I don't use any leverage at all. Sometimes you can use a master limit product on your home loan, especially in Australia, using a master limit product, which can be very powerful. Obviously, you need to learn and get some education before you go and do that. Or, like Interactive Brokers, they do have a very cheap margin loan product. But once again, margin loans come with risk. So be very, very careful. Speak to your financial advisor. But what I recommend you guys do first is learn about options and selling options rather than buying options. Look at selling options. Doug Casey, one of my favorite investors, he sells options. So many of the smart investors I know sell options and just bank these premiums, just bank this passive income month in, month out. So yeah, learn how to do it, because it can be very, very powerful. Once again, not financial advice, and definitely I'm not advising you to trade particular stocks and sell particular covered calls or naked puts, but just learn this strategy. It can be very, very powerful for you. And once you learn it and you've got some experience, then you can maybe look at adding some leverage. And as I said, sometimes I use leverage, sometimes I don't. It just depends when I want to add more risk to my portfolio and when I want to reduce risk to my portfolio. And that also brings me to Finance Uncut Insiders. I've previously said in other videos, we are closing Finance Uncut Insiders to any new members at the end of March. So we've got just over a month to go. That Finance Uncut Insiders is still open. So if you guys do want to subscribe to Finance Uncut Insiders, get my private videos that only Insiders members get my weekly report on my portfolio. It's just on my portfolio, all the stocks, research, when I'm buying, when I'm selling. It's got my watch list. And especially with the miners in particular, when there's significant announcements, I definitely put that in there so that you guys can get all the latest information and research that we do on these stocks, etc. So if that is something that is of interest to you guys, it is $365 for an annual subscription. That's $365 US for an annual subscription to our weekly report, and you'll get the private videos that everyone else on YouTube don't get to see. And that is closing at the end of March. I'm not reopening it. So Finance Uncut Insiders is going to be a closed group moving forward after March. So if you do want to, or you're interested, send an email to the email address below on the screen, and myself or Jade will send out some more info. And if you're keen, then we'll definitely welcome you to the Finance Uncut Insiders. But what I want you guys to take away from this video is to go away and learn how to sell options. Learn about options, learn how to sell options. There's some great education firms out there. For Australian investors, there's actually a free course on how to do options on the ASX website. I got a client of mine who has written a book, and he's been an options trader since 1991, so over 30 years, and I certainly learned a lot off him. And there's so many other good resources in the US. Tyrone Jackson in the US. If you guys are in the US, actually anywhere in the world, you guys can just Google Tyrone Jackson. I think he's called The Wealthy Investor or something. He's got a great podcast. He's a very good teacher, very simple, explains it in a very simple way. I highly recommend you guys check him out as well. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button. Really do appreciate it. Love to see your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again on another episode of Finance Uncut. And just a reminder, the information provided in this video is for education and entertainment purposes only. Nothing on this channel constitutes as financial advice. The information in this presentation is no substitute for financial advice, and all investors should seek advice from a licensed financial advisor, having regard to your own objectives, financial situation, and needs.